Hey everybody, give me 1 second. Weird. Okay. It's not typically how we do things here. I just gonna share. Sorry, the everything's been acting a little bit wonky today for me. Let me just share the link with my Discord and we'll get started. That was too funny. Alright, so we got that in there. And we can get going. I do think, like, I need to figure out, like, a camera situation. I know that this one is being a little bit choppy. Hopefully I can get that fixed in the near future. But, welcome! Sorry for... I feel like it wouldn't be a stream without, like, a bunch of hiccups in the beginning. But welcome. My name is Mike. If you haven't been... Hey, Pumpkin Pie! It was nice talking to you a little bit ago. I'll definitely have to try to join the voice chat every once in a while to say hi to all of you. It was really nice. But yeah, if you haven't been on my channel before, my name is Mike. I am an aspiring professional artist. What I would like to do is I want to get into doing concept art for video gaming companies. So in my live streams, I like to do two different things. I like to do gesture drawing and I like to do character creation. Today I'm going to do gesture drawing. I think the next stream that I end up doing this weekend will be character design. What I plan on doing with that is, yo, what's up? C-Pig, how's it going? With the character design, what I would like to do is I would like to build up until like build up the last character that I had. Sorry, I got a message from work. I just wanted to make sure I looked at that. But yeah, without further ado, let's get started. I appreciate all of y'all for joining me. I think that this is just going to be my... I know that it kind of sucks that it's back-to-back days because you have watching your stream while streaming. Nice. That would be a fun stream one day, just to like have the voice chat and just have all of us talking at once. Be chaotic for everybody else, but a lot of fun for us. So yeah, let's just get going here. Today will be shorter. I can't stay for more than like probably like 30 or 40 minutes, mainly because I have a section at 2 that I have to be on. So let's just get going. Actually, let me situate. It's a good thing I did that. Sorry, give me 1 second. Again, wouldn't be a live stream without weird occurrences. Alright, okay, pen's working now. Okay. Shortcut keyboard's working. So I had to like, I don't know what was going on with my computer, but I feel like I had to like reset it. It was just acting weird. Yeah, it is a short one. I'm sorry. Oh, that's what I was gonna say earlier. I know that it kind of sucks, but I think that my schedule is just gonna have to be Sunday and Monday for now. Just because those are the days that I have like the most of a time period for me to be able to like actually do this. I can maybe try, just so it's not like back to back for all of you, to see if I can get Saturdays in as well. Not as well, instead of Sunday. That way there's at least a 1 day gap. And one thing, since Fight Me pose, that is exactly what this is. You want to throw hands, bro? That's what this pose is. So one thing I will do, especially because I know, I know that Raven was working in the chat. I'm gonna try to explain opposing curves theory a little bit, which helped me which helped me in like a lot with my gestures. So I'll definitely make some space to talk about that in just a bit. That was, to be honest with you, opposing curves theory changed the way that I looked at gestures as a whole. And it's super helpful for maintaining like fluidity in a drawing. All right. This is a pretty good example actually. So after I draw this pose, I'll pause for a minute and explain a little bit of opposing curves theory. Head is a little wonky looking. There it goes, it's a little better. I was on earlier. CPIC. I couldn't stay long. I would have liked to have stayed longer, but I was waiting for a phone call. I have to get a new car relatively soon, so I was trying to budget and stuff. I was waiting for my insurance to call me back. Voice chat rioting. It's too funny. I guess the only thing that I don't like is I think that the head could be tilted back even more here. Ended up being a little sloppy right there. So let me pause this just for a second. And I want to take some time to explain opposing curves theory when you're doing gesture. One thing I would want to change is I think that she can tilt backwards just a bit more. Alright. So this is one that I am stretch breaks back. That's basically what this looks like. Just like stretching, and then it's just like, alright, let's get a good morning stretch in. Morning stretch, morning stretch, morning stretch. Oh my god! Alright, so let's talk a little bit about opposing curves theory. And Raven, I think Raven Peter, right? Am I making that connection correctly? Anyways, hopefully this is helpful for you. And this is why I was saying I liked your one gesture so much. So opposing curves theory, perfect. Opposing curves theory, it like basically tells you that when you have a specific portion of like your body going in, like a specific portion of your body going in one direction, the next portion of your body is going to follow in the opposite direction, so the opposing curve. So for instance with the arms, I actually didn't do a great job here. So I would have done this if I were to go back and switch it out. I would do that just to make it a little bit more clear. But the legs, I made sure I thought about this more. So you can see you can see that the upper leg is going in this direction. So if we look at it as like an arrow, it's going this way, right? So, and in the back as well, you get this. So even front to back, sometimes you get an opposing curve, but I don't want to confuse you. So if you look just at the front portion of the leg, you get this curve going this way, and then you immediately follow it with a curve that keeps flowing that direction. So let's look at the difference if I were to draw this like limb and not use opposing curves theory. And you can see this is true even in the reference in the upper right hand corner, right? So what if I were to draw this leg like this? So I have this part, but then I did the same thing with the lower leg. So now you get this really, like, one, it's unrealistic, but two, you get this really stilted looking limb, right? You have your opposing curves theory is breaking because it's stopping here instead of flowing here. So for instance, that's why, I don't know if you heard me saying this in like a past stream, I have been trying to be cognizant of the fact that the calf muscle doesn't just like you don't get a thigh like this, and then I'll even use the opposing curve theory, and then a calf muscle like that, and it just stops, right? The calf muscle kind of reaches up a little bit because there's ligaments and stuff that attach. So I'm sorry, Coop. So you want to make sure that like you have your opposing curves theory throughout, and if you look at it, like even like some parts of the body you will have these stopping points, right? Like for instance, you kind of get this and then this, right? I think Coop wants me to join the voice chat. So you will have some stops and starts. That's part of the human body, right? But for the most part, you're going to get a lot of opposing curves theory in here. So like for instance, you get this, but you also get this, right? So that's what makes this still flow okay. So you get this, but you get this, right? So on this opposite side even, you get a slight inward curve. So that's really, really important in your gesture drawing. And it's one thing that I feel comfortable coaching about, even though I'm not a professional, because I see it in everybody's work. Like another phrase that I've seen used for this, and I think it's just a more complex version that I really need to look into, is force theory. They talk about these kinds of lines a lot in force theory from what I've seen, and I do need to, like I said, I do need to go ahead and research it just so I can be a little bit more helpful for everybody. But yeah, that's opposing curves theory in a nutshell. Hopefully that was helpful for you. Thank you. I wish I was a pro. By professional, I mean that I haven't been hired and I have not been making money as an artist. That's more so what I mean. Once I do that, then I will consider myself a professional. I do think I've been starting to get a little closer to making, like that piece that I showed everybody on the last stream and I put on the Discord, that piece feels like it's getting closer to professional quality. Like I have seen some professionals not put up a piece that looked like that. I appreciate that. So, and now that y'all know what opposing curves theory is, try to look at it when I'm using it and decipher like, oh, this is what Mike's doing here. Because it really, like, once you get it, it really makes the it will really make your gestures come alive. Like, you'll almost immediately see the difference. And it's really easy. Like, there's a lot of things in art that I feel like it takes a while for it to just be part of how you do things. It becomes part of your workflow. Opposing curves theory is really simple because the only thing you have to do in your head is just kind of tell yourself, okay, if I did a line this way, the next line needs to go and flow the opposite direction, right? Becomes much easier. I don't know why, because it's kind of like, she looks like she's in pain, but this pose to me is just like so beautiful. It's just so subtle. This pose looks sus. We say complete opposite things. I think it's such a subtle pose that has, like, I don't know. It looks like she's in pain of some sort, like almost like she got shot. But like, it's just like, there's just something that's so beautiful about it to me. I don't know why. Yeah. So one thing I do want to change really fast is just this clavicle right here. Just a little too high. Alright, so this one's finished. Pretty happy with it as well. I guess I could finish this back piece. So, one of the things I also get a lot, and I feel like I talk about this in almost every stream, but I do think it's that important, is why do I use drawings and not live, like, people or like actual photographs of real people? So I do. Yeah, I'm sorry. I need to figure that out. I don't know why that's happening. Maybe I'll turn the camera off and try to reset it in a second. But the reason why I like to use drawings is I like to see how other people simplify different portions of the body. And it helps me figure out how I can simplify it. One thing I do need to do soon is, like, I need to go back over anatomy and things of that nature. Just so I can better understand this next part that I'm about to talk with you about, but yeah, I have drawn this pose before. A lot of these poses, that's another good question or thing to point out. So thank you, Pumpkin Pie. I like to do the same poses over and over and over again. And the reason for that is because I want to learn to memorize specific kinds of things. And when you do different poses every time you do gesture drawing, you don't really take into account, like, you don't get the memory, right? You don't get that repetition. Doing it this way, you get a repetition. And over time, like, you start to be able to draw things like this or very similar to this without needing a reference, and it becomes very helpful. Like, for instance, some of the streams that I've done, and maybe the next gesture stream I can do this too, is some of the streams that I just drawn things from imagination, and while they're not perfect, I draw better with a reference, just like any other artist. They do pass as like an actual body pose, right? And that's really what you want. So yeah, what I was trying to, I can't remember what I was saying before that though. I lost my train of thought. It'll come back to me. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Must not have been that important, that's what my mom says. But yeah, I was trying to think. There was something. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I like to look and see how other people use their anatomy, and that's what I was getting at, is I need to practice anatomy again. At one point, I could name every muscle, and I knew where they attached, and all the bones and stuff like that, and I haven't forgotten all of it, but I've forgotten a good portion of it. So at some point, I'll probably review again, and it'll probably stick even better this time, because it'll be like the second or third time that I've reviewed the anatomy. But the reason why it's so important to understand your anatomy if you are going to draw from other artists' references is because you need to be able to see what they are doing to simplify stuff and why they're making the choices. Like, for instance, Mark Brunet, who is the artist who did all of these gestures that I'm practicing here, he really makes the ribcage much shorter on his characters than they actually are in real life. He also has characters with much longer legs, which fits in with the style that I enjoy as well. But the problem is if you don't know those things, I love y'all too, really do. If you don't know these things when you're doing like gesture drawing or you're using other artists for reference, then you end up learning incorrect anatomy, and you don't want to do that. You want to make sure that your anatomy, the things that you are doing that are incorrect should be a choice, not ignorance. That's funny. Alright, so I will also try to sneak in maybe 10 minutes of hands, depending on how much time I have once I'm finished with all of these gestures. It's gonna be a close one. Good try, Coop. See, this is something, Coop, that, like, I'm actually a pretty gullible person. I think I've said this before. That's something you could definitely get me on if we were in person. Like, I'm not afraid to admit I'm, like, pretty gullible. Another thing that I find to be super important with gestures is making sure that you do the feet. I know that sounds a little funny, but feet ground characters. So if you forget to do feet, your character's going to be kind of looking like they're floating. And all you really need is like a triangle. And that should be more than enough. I feel like Pumpkin Pie, I feel like I can't like explain this to you because then Coop would have gotten me. If you spell out those letters if you say them out loud, what does it sound like you're saying? Here, let me before I get going too much on this gesture, let me pause this for a second, and I'm gonna try to fix the camera. Let's see here. See if I can fix this. The other day, just exiting out and then going back in helped, so let's see if it does it this time. Alright. Let's see if that helps with the choppiness. Maybe, maybe not. If the guys or somebody's in the voice chat with you, maybe they can explain. Sorry, I have a bad habit of not placing the neck in the middle of the torso. Alright. This is a funny one. Also what I was gonna say too earlier, what you wanna do with like repetition of the same kinds of poses is pick poses that are going to be helpful for you. And what I mean by that is, like, if you are a camera's crooked, but if you are a person that wants to do comic art, after a while doing, after you've gotten used to the fundamentals, doing gestures that are more complex with a lot of foreshortening and overlap would be very beneficial for you, right? Because that's what a lot of manga is. If you are a person that wants to be a character artist, of course you'll need to know how to consistently draw characters in foreshortened poses, but your gestures don't need to be that. Your gestures, you'll want to use poses that you're going to consistently be getting or having to draw. So what that would mean is doing kind of like these kinds of, well, this pose is a little bit much, but doing poses that are going to be like a standing pose or something along those lines. Because that way you are showing off the character's like attire, and you know, in some cases if you have a character where the main draw of that character actually isn't their clothing but instead their anatomy, you'll be able to share or show off the anatomy and stuff like that from different angles. If you have a pose like this or something like that, then you're going to unfortunately be blocking a good portion of the design of the character, right? But you can still get a lot of personality in poses if you do poses like this. Like this, I would say is if you put her hands maybe like behind her back or something instead, and maybe I can do that pose here for you. I think it would make a very good character pose because there's a lot of personality in this pose. She's very shy, right? Or maybe even scared about something, but more so shy because the facial expression. And that says a lot about the character that you've designed, right? But it's still showing off the different parts of the character. So maybe I can... Well, people might be shy. It's okay, pumpkin pie. So let me see if I can just like... So as you can see, like, this is a little bit high. This arm pose, but this arm pose was not on that reference, right? And you can see she has her arms behind her, and it's very clear as to what she's doing. And that's because of other poses. I have another pose that I use sometimes that has that kind of arm pose going on for it. I think that I can do a very, very quick hand gesture session, which I need to do because it's been a very long time. Yes, she is also being shy. I'm only going to do 5. That'll give 10 minutes. Let's give myself 30 extra seconds. Yep, so we'll have about 13 more minutes of the stream, and then I'll have to hop off. Alright, I don't want to do a fist, but I will, I guess. Hopefully I get open hands. Fists are difficult to like explain because it's basically just a block. I mean, this fist isn't even really a block, to be honest with you. This is just... This is almost just a square. Like, the fist's pretty much done. I typically struggle a lot with fists, but this one is very simplistic, so it won't come out too bad as I say that and struggle immensely to get it in. And so hand gestures are, they're hard, right? You don't need to worry so much about whether or not the hand looks phenomenal, right? Because it's probably not in such a short period of time. What you do want to think about as you're doing the hand is, all right, what similarities am I seeing and what differences am I seeing as I'm doing these hands, and what kinds of shapes can I consistently use to let the hand or to make the hand feel easier to draw, because hands are... Yo, what's up, man? I've been having a great day. I appreciate you joining. All of y'all have made my day. It has been phenomenal. It's been great talking with everybody and having the stream. So I appreciate you. I hope you have a great day as well. I hope you've been having a great day. But yeah, what I like to do is I like to just figure out like the shapes and stuff that I want to use for hands as I move forward when I do hand gestures. I'm not worried so much about how good they look. And I'll say that, but I will say I try not to worry about how good they look, but I end up worrying about it. Oh, so this is how I do hands, is I kind of start with this, like, I do the wrist, which is just like a little bit of a block, but I like to do this, I don't even know what to call it. It's like a tapered square, that's like the base, and then I can do circles. Like, these kinds of hands are very difficult for me, because they're obstructed by an object that it's holding, but, after I do that, I like to lay out where the knuckles are, and then probably a little closer actually up here. Alright, and then after that I can start to fill things out. So this hand's probably not going to be that great just because it's a bit this is a harder, a little bit more complex hand, because it's holding something, but now I like to just go in and add the different segments here. You can do it one of two ways. You can do, or there's multiple ways, but I like to do these, sometimes these like bean shapes. Those are helpful for me. Sometimes I like to do like these cylindrical shapes here. But we'll stick with the bean for this one, because one, I don't have that much time. Yeah, it kind of does look like that, doesn't it? Alright. So we'll do this. So again, just like the, oops, I forgot to do the thumb, but that's okay. Just the general shapes, right? That's all I'm really looking for. If I was stopped running my mouth, I would have been able to actually finish that one. So these are the hands that I really like to practice, just like an open, relaxed hand, because this is going to be a majority of what I end up drawing and what most people end up drawing. Some good proportions to think about for open hands are that the palm from wrist to basically where the middle finger starts is this about the same length as how long your fingers will end up being. So with that, you'll end up having pretty good proportions to your hand. Let's do this, and then this, and then alright, so we'll do this, 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 this. Alright, so the thing with this finger is it is folded in 3 spots where typically you only see 2, so I'll have to kind of address that there. Alright. Get this in. All right, erase away some of this. Thumb's a bit long, but that's okay. Okay, so we're gonna get over here. And sometimes when I'm doing fingers and stuff, I just like immediately start to like simplify into like the shape that you see me doing, which is this like this shape here. I find that to be pretty effective in drawing the fingers in particular, especially in a very short amount of time. And this is the first hand that I feel like came out decently. The rest of them are a bit sloppy, but to be expected since I haven't done hand gestures in quite some time. The other thing too is just because I'm only giving myself about 2.5 minutes does not mean that that's how long you should be giving yourself. I do that because I find that if I give myself even more time, I don't really do anything productive with it. So you want to make sure that whatever the time frame that you're giving yourself is still good and like helpful for you. Because for some people, an extra minute will equal a lot of... No! Don't do that. Yeah, a lot of people will give themselves not enough time or too much time, and then they end up just either wasting time or they're not getting what they could get out of. You don't abuse power, Coop. But you want to make sure you're getting the most out of your study sessions. Alright. This finger's a bit too far away. I probably don't need that part, so we'll move this closer. And I can erase away this line and give it a more proper line here. But yeah, that, oops, this is way too long. That like bean shape, I don't know what you want to call it, is particularly helpful for me, at least in drawing hands. I can typically get a decent looking rough hand to start off with, and then move into you know, finalizing it and stuff pretty quickly. I think that's it. Yep. All right. Perfect. This is great timing. I can talk for a couple of minutes before I jump off. But this is what we had for today. I'm actually very happy with all the gestures for today. None of them look particularly stiff. I can understand all of them pretty well. So yeah. Uh-oh. My dog's gonna bark in a second because I think the mailman just drove. So this is definitely the perfect time to finish up. But yeah, hopefully that was helpful for everybody. Here, let me get rid of the reference thing at the top. Just do this. So yep, this is everything. I can make it a little darker for everybody too. Let's duplicate the layer. So yeah, I can't remember what this thumb was doing, but I can probably just like something like this. It works pretty well. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I think that these two need some work, but the last two in the fist I thought came out pretty good. This one I probably can just clean it up by erasing away some of this and solidifying that this finger is in front of that one, and just go through and quickly clean. But yeah, anybody? Coop, what are you doing? Stop deleting her messages. This dude's over there abusing power. Are y'all in the chat? If you're in the chat, give Coop some grief. Why are you deleting? Why did you do that? No, you're fine. Coop's just being a poop. Pumpkin Pie, I appreciate you talking in the chat. Don't let Coop deter you. Coop, I'm gonna put you in timeout. I'm putting Coop on a 1-minute timeout. Revenge! You're fine, Pumpkin Pie. Coop's just being goofy. That's funny, though. I didn't know that it deleted all the messages when you put somebody in a timeout. That's really cool to know, actually. That way, if the bots ever come back, it won't be a problem. But anyways, I am going to jump off now. I hope that y'all had a great day. I'm going to jump into the voice chat just for a minute to give Coop some grief. But I appreciate all of you. Love all of you. I hope that this was helpful. And I'll definitely be streaming again. Hopefully, if I can get something in for this week before the weekend starts up, I'll do that. But if not, it'll be Sunday and Monday again. But I love all of you. Love all of you, and I'll see you in the next one.